It's bot beatdown time. This episode, we're playing the next 5 beginner bots, Alani through Aaron. Let's get into it. We're picking up where we left off with Alani. Still 400 ELO. We're just gonna stick to E4, E5 this game, but we'll try to switch it up in this video. Protect our pawn here. Okay, what's funny about this is it hangs a pawn. In a way it doesn't, but not in a way that I think Alani knows. So, I mean, an attack on F2, that can easily be blocked with D4. And then after bishop moves back, we're gonna go ahead and kick the knight. And we have such a better position now because Alani has made 4 moves with these 2 pieces. 5 moves with these 2 pieces. And she's making king moves. Not exactly what we like to see. Okay, don't capture pawns with undefended knights. That's my advice here. And we're just gonna capture back. And this gives us an awesome opportunity to threaten a discovered attack on the queen, like that. And this is gonna win the queen. We are now gonna save our knight, get him out of trouble. And we're gonna take that free bishop as well. We'll just develop as normal. You know, when in doubt, when you don't feel like you have a knockout, there's nothing wrong with just continuing development, getting your major pieces out, getting your rooks to the party, getting them to open files, making sure that your king is safe, tucked away in a corner, or wherever you need him in the moment, depending on the game. Most of the time, though, that's going to be tucked away in the corner. And yeah, I'm just not going to waste too much time looking for a knockout punch that I don't have. I do have this. I missed that earlier. I think I did. I mean, okay, I'm just gonna take, because does Alani know to take the rook? Oh, okay, she does. But we're also up 13 points of material. I can't even guess how much material we're going to be up, because I don't even know if Alani's going to capture the free piece on the next move. That's the point that we're at, so worry is almost 0. Gonna keep cutting off her king. Getting my pieces out of danger, making sure everything's locked down and protected. Not going to move the queen right now. That is a threat. But we're going to protect it. Going to give a check. And the king's kind of getting away. I can't lie. But we are definitely getting closer and closer to knockout territory. Especially here. Which is just going to be mate in 1. Alright, there's Alani. And actually, I think... Okay, no, we're going to knock up the ELO now with Noel, who is from Finland at 550 ELO. Still did E4. That's my fault. We'll switch it up next game. Not going to push again. We don't even have to defend, really. I am going to just develop my kingside pieces first, since Noel's already committed A5. I mean, that would be the beginnings of a queenside attack, so we'll make sure that the king is safe and tucked away on this side that doesn't have H5 out. And we're just going to develop as normal while Noel wastes moves. Move the knight twice, making these one space pawn moves. It's just not the way you want to play. We'll have more in-depth analysis as we get to higher level bots, but for now it really is just don't hang pieces. And that's how you can get past these bots, really. Mostly just here for the jazz. Could push, locking the position. Okay, I mean that's a move. We're gonna passant it just because we can. And we are also gonna take here. And so now I have thoughts of sacrificing here to put more pressure. Sorry. Taking here, putting more pressure on this bishop. But I mean, it really does have too many defenders here that queen's protecting. So I'm just gonna slide back. Not gonna do anything too bullish when we can't actually prove an advantage when you're only up 1 point of material. See, now Noel's just having to kind of unjustify these one space pawn moves in the opening. And emphasizing to himself that they didn't work. Did I put... Okay. I'd much rather have these rooks stacked with my queen on e3. But you can't have everything. Alright. We're just gonna look for a knight trade, look to simplify. And then I'm sure Noel will blunder something else. Could sacrifice to infiltrate. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get in here like this. Attack the rook. Moves the rook. I feel like once you start kind of losing material against these lower level bots, they do actually play better than if you were just destroying them like usual. Okay. Still making unnecessary trades though, keeping the tension wasn't bad there. And now we're really going to work on bringing the rooks to the party. Okay. Take back what I said about the better moves thing. He's still 550 ELO. And gotta work on not getting back rank checkmated. It's crazy that we're even with Noel on material at this point in the game. But alas, and not hanging our rook is important too. Can keep putting pressure here. The knight can't take because it's pinned. The knight still can't take because it's pinned. Going to reposition here, keep putting pressure. Put pressure on the pinned piece. PP on the PP. And we're just threatening everything right here. It's going to be here. And then queen h7. That's going to be mate against Noel. That's our 550 bot. Should be another 550. Yeah, Oliver is also 550 as we move on. And we'll switch up the opening here. Just to look at some positional ideas, let's stitch opening prep. We'll do the where opening. 1a4 and 2h4. And look at Oliver being principled, putting these pawns in the center. And we're just going to develop as normal. Oliver's doing a pretty good job overall. Not going to open up our king right now. 2 attacks on h4. We'll go ahead and just keep our bishops tucked away in neat corners. Looking to trade off could be a possibility here. And then also just kicking these bishops can be very useful. And then creating a pin. Yeah, I mean, Oliver is doing a lot of things right here. I don't hate his opening moves. We're gonna short castle. I do feel like the screen is being a bit glitchy or slow. Bait h6. No, and that's gonna be a revealed check. If I give this check, will Oliver lose his queen? No, Oliver won't lose his queen. He's adamant. Okay, now Oliver loses his queen. He was just adamant for that one move, and then he got offended for some reason. His queen said something to him. Alright, and just an avalanche is coming Oliver's way. That's the best way I can put it. I'm gonna give a check here. We're going to give a check here. To give a check here. Rook blocks. Rook takes. Knight takes, queen takes. Going to bring our rook over, cut off the 7th rank, and we're going to be looking for queen b5 mate. Perfect. Alright, that's Oliver down. We'll move on to Militia? I guess Militia would have like CIA. We'll go ahead and play as black against Milica. That's what I'm gonna call her, Milica. What's she from? She's from Serbia. Milica, that sounds like a Serbian name. I don't mean that in a bad way. And we're just gonna bring our 4 knights out. And she plays it correctly. If she was to put her bishop here, there would be takes in d5. Which would be a fork after knight takes e4. But she plays it correctly. Do I allow the same thing? No. We're gonna keep things chill. I'm actually going to force the bishop to back off a bit. I'll open up my queen. You know, against a 550 bot, I don't really mind losing a pawn, you know, to have an active queen. Hangs both knights. That's a move. And yeah, there's the other one. So, you know, I don't really mind these moves at this point. It just gets you that extra tempo, and that little bit of space is all you need against these guys. Gonna short castle. Get our rooks to the open files. You know, still playing by principle, you know, to an extent. That's not a fork, it's an unprotected pawn. We're going to bring our other rook to make sure our boy's protected. In this pawn move here, it cuts off well, e4 is already cut off by the rooks, but it cuts off g4, preventing the king from running. We're going to play g6. That way after takes, we keep this square cut off. We're just going to maneuver around. Try to keep things cut off. I might be missing... Oh, missed an x-ray right there. So, you know, no biggie. Move up, make sure that we don't get obliterated by a 550 ELO bot. But now we can move our knight back, and our knight will still cover g4. Okay, that's not a move. And now we're just threatening mate there. Yep. Alright, we're going on to our last bot of the video, actually, Aaron. And we're taking a step up in ELO. We're going 700. We'll play a modern against Aaron. We're going to fianchetto our bishop here. We're going to play d6. And just kind of meander our way east. Okay, we're going to have to ditch typical modern just to kick this bishop. Don't mind it at all, though. That's for sure. We can get this bishop out somehow. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play e5 now. Grab that center space. Doesn't take, which means that we can take here. And that's going to be a free pawn. Since we have our bishop staring down this line, we'll go ahead and throw a pin. And yeah, that's a free knight. Start going for other moves before I realize that these pieces are hanging. Not quite used to this level of play, that's for sure. We're just going to keep on developing as normal, since we definitely don't have a knockout move in this position. We're threatening takes and then an x-ray down this way, but we're also threatening now this fork that we have going on. And that is all we wanted. And now we're just going to simplify everything. This might end up going into an endgame, just because, you know, you to a degree really need your queen for that knockout punch that we look for. So to not have her, it might just end up going into an endgame where we're obviously still winning, but just taking a bit longer than usual. I don't know though, back rank threats are for sure a thing. If this bishop could somehow escape, that'd be great. Oh well, now it actually doesn't need to anymore, because we would just take here and it's no longer protected by the king that was on B1. We can take this pawn because it takes. That's back rank. We're going to threaten this pawn on F2. We're going to threaten everything. Threaten everything, take everything. Aaron is teaching us how to lose at chess. It's not a Gotham reference. See, I don't mind losing these pieces at this point. When you're up 7 points of material, I don't mind a pin. I have a constant threat of back rank mate. It's just not a concern. Give a check. Oh, doesn't give a check. Okay. Not of concern. Now we're just going to run our pawn. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We'll take here. Continues not to matter. And this is going to be the knockout punch that we've been looking for. Right there with queen b2. Alright, those are our second set of 5 beginner bots we've been wanting to play. So yeah, we're through Aaron now. We have remaining Janjay, Mina, Zara, Santiago, and Kareem. That will take us through 850 ELO. And then we're moving on to the intermediate bots. So after next video, stick around, keep your eyes open for next video. Those will be our last 5 beginner bots, and we'll move on to intermediate. Thanks for hanging out.